With the NBA draft only a week away from today, all the rumors are flying around. Yesterday, when I was reading articles, I saw a super interesting topic. It was an article written by Nico Martinez from Fadeaway World. It's a simple trade between the Warriors and the Clippers, where the Warriors will package Andrew Wiggins in the number 2 overall pick for Paul George. At first, I thought this is something that's super unrealistic, but as I was thinking more from the perspectives of both parties, I feel like this is something I should talk about. So in today's video, I'll be talking about some reasons why they should pull this trade and why they should not pull this trade. And with that being said, let's roll the intro.
Hi. I'm on my match in the dark. 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 I'm on my match.
Yo, what's up guys, Jason's here back with another video. If it's your first time watching, I do multiple basketball videos on a weekly basis, so don't forget to leave a subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and you'll be the first one in the future to see more awesome videos just like this. So let's first talk about why the Clippers would do this trade. From this year's playoffs, it turns out that the combination of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard didn't bring the Clippers with a championship. With the fact that there is only 1 year left on Paul George's contract, trading him away might be the best option. Something that we have to remember is that Paul George was an MVP candidate back in 2019, and it took the Clippers some key rotational players and 5 first-round picks to get him from the Thunders. If Paul George just walks away from the Clippers next season, they will get nothing in return. Even though Andrew Wiggins is not the same level of Paul George, but he certainly has potential. Plus, Clippers will be getting the number 2 overall pick, which means they have the ability to select an elite point guard from the draft, either LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards. And even if they don't want to draft anyone, they can still package that pick with some role players to get another all-star, as many teams have interest to move up in the draft. Now, let's talk about why the Warriors will do this trade. Let me ask you guys one simple question. Is Andrew Wiggins the better player or Paul George the better player? I think the majority of you guys would say Paul George, and that's the right answer. I've been saying this for multiple times. The championship window for the Warriors is next season. Getting Paul George can simply make this Warriors team a stronger competitor. Obviously, Paul George is a much more competitive player in all areas compared to Andrew Wiggins, especially in three-point shooting ability. With the Clippers this year, Paul George had a 41.2% three-point shooting percentage, which is actually his career high. Also, Paul George is a better defender, as they made it to the all-defensive teams 4 times. If this trade can actually happen, the Warriors will have a scary starting lineup of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Paul George, Draymond Green, and Marquise Chris, which I think is a top 3 starting lineup in the Western Conference. Aside from the good, let's talk about the bad. First, let's talk about why the Clippers should not do this trade. With 1 year of playing time, they already have some kind of chemistry building, and if they actually pay a bit more attention this year, they can definitely make it out of the West. Even though Paul George didn't play as expected in the playoffs, he is still a high-level player. Plus, Andrew Wiggins is set to make nearly $30 million next year, which is extremely overpaid in terms of his performance. So instead, the Clippers should keep Paul George to push it again for the championship. And if it doesn't work out, the Clippers can still trade him away before the trading deadline. Finally, let's talk about why the Warriors will say no to this trade. Now, as the new season starts, it will be the first time this is the big 4 of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green play together, which might have some great chemistry. Along with that, when it comes to trading away both Andrew Wiggins and the number 2 overall pick, the Warriors should expect something bigger like Ben Simmons or even Giannis. Plus, like I said, Paul George has only 1 year left on his contract, so he might just walk away, which means the Warriors used Andrew Wiggins and the number 2 overall pick for a 1 year rental of Paul George. That's extremely invaluable. Overall, I'll be okay if this trade actually happens, but to be honest, I would rather have Andrew Wiggins and the number 2 overall pick than Paul George, unless the Clippers put in more players or draft capitals. So guys, this wraps up the video. Comment down below if you would do this trade. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on social media with all the link in the description down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode.